Tonight, new concerns inside the U.S. defense community over a Russian military satellite exhibiting some very strange behavior.
It is, Jim. They're doing that because this satellite seems to have done something that U.S. officials admit they have never seen before. It has birthed two other satellites, according to experts.
Are you concerned about the current state of affairs in Russia and its impact on the world? Do you think that current sanctions against Russia are not working? Well, you're not alone. In fact, in today's video, we're going to analyze why tougher sanctions will leave Putin with nowhere to hide. New evidence has surfaced that shows how Russia's satellite states are bypassing sanctions with ease, creating a boom in their economies, but fueling Putin's war machine. We'll discuss why this is a cause for concern and how it affects not only the region, but the world at large. But that's not all. We'll also talk about what can be done to counter this, including initiatives taken by Germany and the US, and what role the UK can play in tackling sanctions evasion. So, if you want to be up to date on the latest developments in the ongoing conflict in Russia and its impact on the world, be sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more informative and engaging content. Now, let's dive in the video. For the past year, NATO partners and Britain have been struggling to provide an off-ramp for Russia's satellite states. Unfortunately, this need has not been met, and new evidence released in recent weeks shows why it is more important than ever to act. The Kremlin has been able to bypass nearly every barrier placed in its way, and sanctions simply are not working as they should. Countries that are members of Russia's copycat version of the EU, called the Eurasian Economic Union, along with other erstwhile allies, are acting as sieves through which material and technology for the Kremlin's war effort are passing. Statistics show that while Russia's GDP declined by around 3% in 2022, countries within its economic sphere of influence are experiencing booms so fantastical it can only be through connivance with the Russian authorities. For example, Georgia's GDP is up around 10% in the last year, and economic growth in Kyrgyzstan is up 7.2%. But the most absurd is Armenia, whose 13% economic expansion in only 12 months makes it a candidate for the third fastest-growing economy in the world. According to the World Bank, an influx of young, peace-minded Russians who have no desire to die early in Putin's illegal war explains the growth. Now, youthful Russians are unable to gain visas for Britain and Europe, so it's hardly a surprise that they relocate to a long-term Russian ally where cultural and religious traditions are similar. The trade flows are also puzzling. Exports from Germany to Armenia rose from 178 million euros to 505 million euros in 2022, and exports from Armenia to the EU in the same 12 months doubled from 753 million euros to 1.3 billion euros. With a population of barely 3 million and a GDP per capita of less than a tenth of the average Briton, these numbers are impossible, but they are real. Imports to and exports from Russia, which are tariff and duty-free between all EAEU countries, are being near seamlessly diverted to the outside world via their satellite states. But there is some good news. Serious laggards like Germany are starting to take the initiative by forcing businesses to provide transparent end-use statements for exported products, and the UK should follow suit. We may not equal Germany's manufacturing power, but we more than match them in financial services, where similar requirements to produce proof of end use should be a necessity for financing and facilitation. Britain must also use its diplomatic credibility that rivals any country in Europe to apply both carrot and stick to countries such as Armenia. Other former Soviet satellites, such as Azerbaijan and the 3 Baltic states, have escaped from under the Kremlin's grasp and manage this, despite sharing land borders with Russia and significant Russian-speaking populations. With no land border and no less economic connections to Russia than the Baltic states, Armenia has little excuse when allowing itself to act as a third country transit point. For Britain to work with Germany and others to close sanctions evasion may not make Ukraine win this conflict, but it will help Russia lose it. The off-ramp of friendship alone is clearly not enough to stop those who wish to make money from Putin's war. Therefore, it must be combined with a slippery slope that leads to consequences for those who collude to profit from it. So what do you think? Will tougher sanctions leave Putin with nowhere to hide? Do you believe that closing sanctions evasion is the key to stopping those who wish to profit from Putin's war? Share your thoughts and ideas in the comments section below. And don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking discussions. Thank you for watching.